moments, you will be connected to an operator. This call will be recorded for quality assurance, investigative, or other purposes. If you do not wish to be recorded, please hang up and submit your tip online at tips.fbi.gov.
Thank you for calling the FBI. Can I have your first and last name, please?
Billy Early, that's Earley.
Okay, I have Billy, last name Earley.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your telephone number?
714-615-4956.
714-615-4956.
Yes, ma'am.
And what's your date of birth?
My date of birth is 1/1/62.
And what's the federal crime you're reporting today?
Judicial government corruption. An addendum.
Okay, where is this happening at?
This is happening in the United States Attorney's Office in the Central District, and it's happening in the United States of California Superior District Court, Appellate Court, Superior Court for the appellate.
Okay, so what exactly happened that makes you think there's corruption?
Okay, let me just get this up here. We made a tip on 5/23/2018 to https tips.fbi.gov, and I just talked to somebody at the FBI, and they said that the Riverside branch, and they gave me this number right here and to call. Basically, this tip that we submitted at first outlines a U.S. assistant attorney. Her name is Dorothy C. Kim, and her brother is Beong Kim. He's the head of the fraud unit for the U.S. Attorney's Office. Dorothy's husband, his name is Jeffrey Rutherford. He is an attorney. So what happened with this Dr. Guven Uzun? I'm an advocate, and so I'm a healthcare advocate. And I've been in Washington, and we spoke with Washington, D.C. people on the panelists, a congressional panelist for this reason also. Dr. Uzun.
Okay, sir.
Yes?
Sorry to interrupt you. You said you had already reported this to the FBI?
Yes, I have additional information. And they told me to call you guys. I have a case that's...
What is the additional information?
Okay, the additional information is that Dorothy C. Kim's husband, Jeffrey Rutherford, from the office of the U.S. Attorney's Office, and Beong Kim's, his brother-in-law, he actually was the attorney for Michael Drobot. So that's the same thing. Her office, the U.S. Attorney's Office, launched this investigation into Dr. Michael D. Drobot. And they charged him with a lot of stuff, $500 million, all this stuff right here. Some of it may be true, but some of it isn't true. And so Dorothy's husband, Jeffrey Rutherford, also did the same thing to him. He didn't know that. So Dorothy send their husbands or their friends, when they launch the investigation, they send their friends. In this case, Dorothy's husband's been out on multiple things. Her husband was representing the guy who's the department is launching an investigation against. So that is criminal. And they did the same thing to Dr. Uzun. And so this is a former Pacific Hospital owner. Yes?
I'm not understanding what you're saying. First, could you spell Michael's last name?
Drobot, Drobot. He's a doctor who had a Pacific hospitals, and that was 400 employees at that hospital, and they said he was $500 million in fraud or something like that. There it was a big case. But here it is. That same the U.S. Attorney's Office, that launched the investigation is where Dorothy C. Kim, she's a federal judge now, okay, appellate court judge. It's the same office. Her husband, where the office was launched the investigation, her husband, Jeffrey Rutherford, he's a lawyer. He tells everybody he's an FBI lawyer. But when they go investigate people, they figure out who they're going to investigate because that's how they work. And then what they do is they get their husbands or their friends. In this case, it was her husband who was the main lawyer for this Michael Drobot. But that was a conflict of interest because why? His wife department was launching an investigation. That's the crime. And this is everybody in there knows this involves a lot of judges. Andrew Barreau, Judge Steve Kim, just a lot of people are involved with this. And this type of stuff is common. These are common. And first of all, I've already proven to you guys without a doubt that they did that to Dr. Andrew Guven. I'm sorry about that there. Guven Uzun. They did the same thing. Guven, they launched a frivolous investigation into him from that office. And the other offices probably do it too. And then when they launched the investigation, her husband, Jeffrey Rutherford, came to him and said, hey, look, I do FBI stuff. I don't know how he befriended him, but he befriended him. They ended up taking $800,000 out of Dr. Uzun, a Beverly Hills doctor. And then when Dr. Uzun, yes, I think
spell the doctor's last name.
Uzun, U-Z-U-N. Guven is G-U-V-E-N. He tried to sue him for $10 million, the husband, and his attorney wouldn't put all the information about the judge and all that other stuff in there, obviously, because he don't want to lose his license out here. We're not judges. We're people, American people, and we want to be treated like Americans, not like some criminals, and to get our rights taken from us. So this is very important because this explains, this is massive corruption right here in the judiciary. So Uzun, you can look this up. Dorothy C. Kim and her brother Beong Kim in the U.S. Attorney's office launched this frivolous investigation, and then what they do is they get their husbands or friends to go befriend the people and be their lawyers. So Jeffrey Rutherford charged them $800,000, and then after the $800,000 in 3 years, Dr. Guven, who I'm an advocate, okay, Dr. Guven hired another attorney named Thomas O'Brien, who worked in the same office. You see how that works? And Thomas O'Brien said, hey, look, I know those two. They're husband and wife. And that's when Dr. Guven tried to sue him. But the judge in the appeals court, they said that the time had told, that the statute had told, and so they denied the lawsuit. And Dr. Guven, he lost everything. He had very successful clinics in Beverly Hills, okay? So now here is Rutherford with the Pacific Hospital, $500 million case launched by that same agency, the Central District U.S. Attorney's Office, where Dorothy Kim's husband is there. That is fraud, and the FBI has to do something about this. They can't
When
just...
did that happen?
This right here, Dr. Uzun, with Dr. Uzun.
No, the other doctor.
With I got the case up right now. Look, that happened in February 21st, 2014. Long Beach, it says here, former owner of Long Beach Hospital charged in healthcare fraud scheme that paid tens of millions of dollars in kickbacks for referrals for spinal surgeries. See, doctor had a surgical unit too. This, I'm not saying this Dr. Drobot is innocent or guilty, but I can tell you right now, there's a lot of criminal conduct against him with this case. And that's the problem when you have a corrupt system. And Dorothy C. Kim, this involves other people. This is not these two. We're talking about a lot of other people, like this one. Let me see here. This involves also a former, what's his name? His name is Drobot, I believe. No. This, their boss, Robert Edward Dougal. I've seen the paper with him. So he know about all this. And also Andrew Barot, who's a federal judge right now. They all know about these types of things. So I'm just letting you guys know, because nobody, the FBI, is like, you guys don't want to respond to this. And this is like massive.
Okay, sir?
Yes?
You were saying that someone at the hospital was arrested. Who was that?
That was Dr. Michael Drobot. He was the owner of the hospital. He got 5 years in jail.
And what was he arrested for?
Well, I just told you, he was arrested because they said he was getting kickbacks for spinal surgeries billed to workers' comp programs. That's what it says right here. I'm looking at the U.S. Attorney's Central District page. So I got the, I got pages I use for, a referral for evidence. But in this case, it's clearly got Jeffrey Rutherford. That's the U.S. Attorney's Office where all these people are launching these, and we have the name of an FBI agent that is known to be putting false investigations against people that works with this group. So that needs to be corrected. And, this Dr. Drobot, I would say somebody needs to look into his case right away and figure out how is it that this department and all the heads of department, like Thomas O'Brien, Andrew Barot, that Dougal guy, how is it that all these guys here are ignoring this type of crime? And why is it that people are, when they complain, nothing happens? There's nothing. So this doctor could have, yes.
Who is Rutherford's wife? What is her name?
Her name is Dorothy C. Kim. She was a U.S. assistant attorney for the attorney's office, I guess, of Central District. But now she's an appellate judge now. They moved up. They moved her up to 2 positions. She was first just a district judge. Now she's an appellate judge. And she shouldn't be there. Not doing that to people. They should not be there. I could be the judge. Let me, somebody innocent who got a good heart, be the judge. Not nobody who does this type of stuff to people. They can't be there. So she has to be removed. So I don't know what FBI investigator is going to take this or even want to take it. But I would remove her because you have a criminal that's over good people.
Sir, I understand. Have you spoken to the State Bar of California about this issue?
No. Yeah, the State Bar, that's the liberal group. They're not going to do nothing. The State Bar can't do nothing about this crime. Yeah, they can't do anything. I made a complaint about the State Bar, but that's to a medical board prosecutor who threatened me and did a lot of other stuff. I mean, just a lot of illegal stuff, lying, all kind of stuff, and they didn't do nothing to him.
Okay, sir, who threatened you?
The prosecutor did. Yeah, they came to my house. I had people come to my house. I told you Dr. Guven Uzun fled the country already. He's scared for his life. This is serious stuff. This is no joke. These people are killing people. I got doctors that I know a doctor that they killed that I could prove it. Nobody will listen. This is on paper.
Okay, sir.
Yes?
I need you to clarify what you're talking about. You're giving me a lot of information. Who threatened you and who has been killed?
Okay, the guy has been killed. His name is Dr. Jackson. Hold on. And his name is Dr. Anthony Jackson. He's a doctor that he accused the medical board of targeting doctors, minority doctors. And they did it with a lot of crooked evidence. And so he won his case in the appeals court, and then when he got back, he met with like Al Sharpton group, the NAACP, the GMSA, and a bunch of medical board people. I mean, not medical board people, but organizations, and the medical board information officer. She was there. She died suddenly too, her family said, after 6 months. She was there. And that Dr. Andrew, and this, there was a reporter there. He said, because they mentioned this report that the medical board had done, a study. And he said that report was concluded from 1993 to 1999. He died in 2017, three days after this meeting that he had, saying he was going to sue the medical board for discrimination. And they put...
And that's Dr. Jackson?
That's Dr. Jackson. I reported that to the medical board. I've been there, and I sent him a certified letter to the chief of the medical board and told him they need to investigate that. They made a mockery of his death because they put his name in that report that was concluded in 1999. His name is an acknowledgement in that report, and they published it in 2017. So why would you put his name in a report that he said was a fake? That tells me right away. And why would they publish that report in 2017? They should have published it in 1999. No, there's evidence right there too. So I would like to just stick. There's a lot of different things, and once you start talking to us, because we're dealing with, we see a lot of stuff. Because I speak to a lot of doctors, and to tell you the truth, there's a lot of crime. But I would like to, with Dr. Uzun's case, this case here with this case involves a couple of judges, and their office is clearly engaging in fraud, the U.S. Attorney's Office, against the people by launching these frivolous investigations. That's the thing I'd like to address, and then the other stuff maybe later, because for one, this is like massive type of stuff that they're doing to people, and you're killing people. Obviously, you heard of Hillary Clinton, the body count she's got. I mean, they're killing people. Okay, these guys are not joking. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Get your information documented, and if someone needs to get more information from you, they'll call you at your telephone number. You have a nice day.
Hey, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so that was the information that was given to the FBI. She didn't give me her name or anything, but basically that basically states what's going on. Serious crime going on against the U.S. Department Attorney's Office, and this crime is basically against people of this innocent people, doctors, people with wealth, and it's sad because they're killing people, they're doing a lot of stuff, and everybody think this is some kind of joke. Why people are losing their lives, all their wealth, their homes, their property, everything over this type of craziness that these people are doing to us. These so-called government corrupt workers. And there's a lot of them out there. And like I told the lady, I would do a better judge. I would be a better judge than any of these people that I've seen so far. At least I'm honest.